Good to see everyone. Thank you for being here today, and we're fortunate and really excited about the opportunity to host our championship game in year 25 of the Mountain West Conference. The historical impact of this league across college football is one that I've followed for a number of years, and I'm honored to have a chance to coach in this conference championship game, and great leadership of the conference with Gloria in leading, and all the people with her staff that make this conference special. It's exciting for us to be able to host the game, and this morning when I talked to the team before we went out to practice, we're one of 20 teams in college football practicing today, getting ready for a championship game, and I think that speaks volumes about the locker room that we have, about the opportunities that they have created for themselves, not only with our team, but our assistant coaches, and the things and the work that they've put into it in getting to this point of the season to have a chance to compete and win a championship was ultimately our goal. A lot of credit to our opponent in Boise and the way that they've played all season, but specifically the last couple of weeks. They're playing their best football, and certainly we know that we'll have a tremendous challenge and a great opportunity. We need to prepare really well, and we do those things, and home field advantage and Allegiant will be huge for us. We understand that the responsibility that we have to go play really well and play our best ball in all three phases. It will take that effort to have a chance to have success. But I'm proud of the toughness of our team, the resolve, the consistency. Even though we came up short last week, felt like that we had our best Monday of the year today in practice and our habits, the way we moved around, and it will take that effort plus some tomorrow through when the ball is kicked off for us to get ready to go play in a championship game that we're certainly excited about the opportunity.
Coach, since the coaching change at Boise, have they changed anything in your view schematically or what they're doing?
I haven't seen, just the overview of all three sides. No, they look consistent on what they were before. They're playing really well, and their kids play extremely hard. You can tell how well they are coached, and they've got really good players. So usually in those combinations, when you've got good coaches, you've got really good players, and you've got a tough scheme to defend on either side of the ball, you find a team just like we're about to face. And they've done a great job as a coaching staff. I respect what they have done, given the circumstances and the way that they've got their team playing. Hats off, they've done a great job. Exciting for us to be the first one. We're going to embrace that. We're going to prepare really, really well, and I think we'll go play our best ball.
You've talked about Jackson being one of the best players in your mind in the country at his position. Besides talent, what are some of the intangibles that come with that opinion about him?
Did you say Jackson Woodard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single day, the consistency that he brings, his ability to retain information from film study, and then to actively go do that on the field every single day. Slight changes, slight technique movements for him, the understanding schematically on what we're seeing on the other side of the ball, where he needs to fit, his ability to play man coverage, zone coverage, his blitzing technique, the ability for him to play multiple positions for us defensively within the drive and within the series on how we want to attack an offense. All of those things are just some of the characteristics that he has brought to our defense and our team. Leadership, work ethic, and the selfless nature and attitude that he has, I think, puts him in a category of very select few.
Your team has bounced back from losses twice this year. Given the magnitude of this game, do you think it's easier to bounce back from Saturday, given what's on the line here?
Well, I think our approach is the way we prepare. We are a good football team when we have a chip on our shoulder, and whatever that chip is, it needs to be large, and we need to go attack, and we will. The good thing about that is we haven't had to bounce back from many losses.
Yeah.
The other side of that is you learn from your experiences, the good ones and the bad ones, and then you apply and try to make sure you don't make the same mistake twice. And we didn't play our best the other day. We understand that. Some of it self-inflicted, some of it because we were playing a really good team. So we understand, the reasons why it happened. We understand what we need to do to correct those things, and we're well on our way, in my opinion, to be where we need to be by Saturday.
From a big picture sense, you talking about Boise's been here before. When you look at that program, what do you think it takes to have that sort of consistency in year in and year out? What can UNLV do? I'm sure you have a plan. What can you do to sort of emulate that, or what do you do here to get that on that same level?
Absolutely. There's great consistency they've had over the years, and I think it starts with leadership. It starts with alignment within the leadership. It speaks to volumes of the character and the type of student athletes that they're recruiting, and then their foundation is really, really strong. So we've started in on all aspects of that. The goal of mine would be for this program to someday, years and years from now, to be looked at as a consistent winner and competing for championships every single year. And it doesn't happen just because you want it to. It takes a lot of hard work. You've got to be disciplined in your approach in every single area of the program, with recruiting, with off-season programs, with the ability to connect with the city or the community that you're living in. All of those things, and everybody that touches your players on a day-to-day basis, the vision's got to be there for them, the plan has to be there for them, and then the resources have to be in place to be able to continue to provide for those. So I think UNLV is in a position that we've broken down a couple of walls this year, a couple of barriers. We understand the things that it will continue to take to keep our program in the month of December competing for a conference championship, and excited about how that will look and how we can continue to make progress to keep UNLV on a national stage for a number of years to come.
Having said that, when you have this much success, obviously, whether it's the internet or what other people will talk about jobs with you or your staff, how do you approach those kind of things in this kind of realm when you're playing for a championship and these things are out there all the time?
I think that's natural in the world we live in today of, the job market, carousel, it's always, anytime that you win, your name's going to be affiliated with a number of jobs. You're either yourself or your assistant coaches, or with the portal with our players. With wins, with success, those things follow. To me, for our team, you block out all those noises. You don't listen, and you've got to make sure that the things that you need to get accomplished for your team that day, whatever your role is, we've got to pour into our team. And if you do that, there's not much time for anything else. So, and I want to create an environment for our assistant coaches that they don't want to leave, that we've got everything here that they enjoy coming to work every day. I want assistant coaches that are great teachers, or great mentors, or great men, or great leaders. But also I want them to strive to be coordinators, and I want our coordinators to strive to be head coaches. I don't want to lose anybody. But if it's an opportunity in the world of college coaching that they have an opportunity to maybe go be a head coach someday or go be a coordinator, I want to make it really, really hard for them to leave. I want them to be able to understand that they've got great value here. They're so important to what we're doing organizationally. But you also look, I had a chance that Josh Heupel was my offensive coordinator when I was at Missouri, and obviously he went to Central Florida and had great success now at Tennessee. Ryan Walters was the same way. He was my defensive coordinator, and now he's the head coach at Purdue. Those things happen, and I want to make sure that, number one, our complete sole focus is on our team and trying to win this championship. And then you've got to handle it individually. Everybody's got to handle it the ways that they do. But hopefully I've created an environment that we're able to keep our coaches.
How about you for yourself? Have you heard from other schools at this point? How do you even?
No, my name's been out there a lot. I've been informed by both my sons. And I said, don't you think I'd tell you if we had something going on? There were a number of weeks, I'm trying to think what week it was, that Eric Harper and I sit down, and we talk daily on a number of different topics. But a number of weeks ago, he sat down, he's very in tune with the landscape of college football and college athletics. So I value our relationship. I value the opportunity to work for him, and we need to have a really, really good Tuesday practice. I know that's boring.
He told me Saturday he's committed to trying to give you and your staff the resources to stay and succeed. You just mentioned it a minute ago. What are some of the tangible things that are still lacking from your perspective?
Well, I think we've got great opportunity here. We've got great facilities. I think we have really, really good people. You look at, number one, quality of life. You look at those things that are afforded, like living in a place like Vegas. It's a wonderful city that we're honored, my family, to call home. For the assistant coaches, everybody is driven on a number of different factors. You've got to find out, everybody on your staff, what is really important to them. You know, do they value the workplace environment? Do they value the ability to coach their position? All of those things. And then financially, you look at, okay, is there something that we could entice them to help stay? And I know that UNLV has been great and tremendous in every area on having those conversations. And I don't ever want to get into a position, you know, if I'm speaking now personally, I've never taken a job because of the 1 day a month paycheck. That's never, ever been the case from when I was a high school assistant coach to a head coach in high school to a graduate assistant to director of recruiting, director of operations, position coach, coordinator, head coach. I feel like over the years, if you do that, you're going to be chasing a endless hope of unhappiness. And there's a lot of things that I enjoy about coaching. And, you know, there may be guys out there that do chase that. And that's, you know, their own personal preference on what they're looking for in the job.
When you came in, you wanted to win a championship, so now you're here. You're on the doorstep. What's gone right for this team that maybe you had some doubts about, but it's worked out, and now you're here?
Yeah, we haven't been perfect. We've had to fight and earn and scratch and claw for success. Some have been easier wins than others. Some have been last second. I think the proven commonality of our locker room on having resiliency, some things that happened that drew us closer together, I think all kind of go into what has made this team. I feel like it's flown by. I mean, you and I have talked a number of times because of, you know, the different situations that we're in company together at the radio show. And I think you have a pretty good feel on what this team's been through, how we've grown, how we've made progress every week. We still understand who we are. We got to be hard, smart, and tough. There's our margin of error is absolutely zero. But I think our team has embraced that. And we understand that special teams have to be our X factor. We have to swarm the ball on defense. Okay? We've got to be able to run the ball on offense. And if we do those things, we give ourselves a chance to get in the fourth quarter and win a game. And if we don't, then we're not going to win the game. And it's you know, that sounds so simple to go do and to go execute, but it's so hard. Winning is hard. But we've done enough, we've earned enough so far this year to go compete for a championship, and now we just need to go execute, cut loose, enjoy the experience of playing in this game, and try to do everything we can to play our best.
How can a successful season like this change your recruiting in terms of, like, when you're talking to these kids, do you feel like the excitement growing as the season goes on and you're winning more games, or how does that help each other?
We've got a really good core group of high school kids committed to this next year's class. You know, and it's sure exciting to hear their voice now as we get closer to signing date, to them joining our locker room on how they see themselves fitting into this team, talking about returning starters and how they're going to play side by side next to Ricky and Jacob and some of those things. So that's getting a little bit closer and a little bit more real for them. So that's been fun in those conversations. We don't have many spots left in this year's recruiting class, as and we also know that next Monday when the portal opens, we're going to lose some players, and I hate to say that. I don't want to lose anybody, but we're going to. That is the nature of college football, and 2 years ago or however long ago it's been when this became real in transfer and portal, I was in a dark spot about it. I did not like it, and at some point my wife looked at me and said, if you don't adjust, you're going to be left behind. And she's been right about everything, and that was so true. So I had to adjust the old school mentality of recruit a kid, you develop them, you got 5 years with them. That's not the case. Our roster next year is going to look so different than it does this year. Nobody wants to hear that, but that's what it's going to be. And every year is going to be a completely different group. You hope to retain everybody. The reality of what that really is, there's not anybody in college football that can say they've got the same group from year to year to year. So we're going to be very, very aggressive in that market on what it looks like. I don't want to lose anybody other than the graduating seniors that are going on to play in the NFL or graduate and get a job. I hope we keep everybody else, but I would be very, very naive to think that we're going to. So you better have a plan in place on how you're going to replace whoever that is, either through high school recruiting, junior college recruiting, or portal transfers. And I think we've got an opportunity for guys in all three of those areas to come join our program that will help us continue to compete and win championships.
How many recruits did you have at the San Jose State game, and are you starting to limit the 2024s who are brought here?
Yeah, we were a lot younger the other day, graduating class of 25, 26. We had over 500 again last week. Now, that's prospects plus a guest, but it was a great group. And, the best way to recruit is you win. That's the best recruiting tool. So the other day after the game, you don't win the game, and it's a little more difficult, but still they're here for a reason. They have interest. It's building relationships. It's showing how they fit in the program and what they can do to help us continue to win.
Not just making the championship game, but hosting the game on your home field. I'm sure there are some fans out there who don't even really have never been in this situation before as well.
Yeah.
How do you get that crowd out there? What do you want to see from from your home field advantage on Saturday?
The last time I checked, for UNLV students, it's free of charge, right? And then they can get another ticket for $15. So for 2 tickets, simple math, that's $7.50 a piece. I wasn't very good at math. I'm right on that one. And then everybody else can get in the house for $20, okay? I think I checked the sports schedule in the city of Vegas on Saturday. I think we're the only show in town at 12 o'clock. And for us to be able to host this event in the 25th year of the Mountain West Conference against a great opponent and have an opportunity to win the first conference championship, it ought to be rocking. It ought to be an unbelievable environment that is built around what Vegas is known for and its opportunity, its championships. It's the sports mecca of the world. I'm really, really confident that we're going to go play our best ball, and the team will feel the city, and we need that.
You're going against a running back in Ashton Genty, who might be the #1 tackle breaker amongst running backs in the country.
Yeah.
So how do you drill tackling this late in the season?
He's so good. He runs behind his pads. They're good up front. He also creates runs for them, extra yards after contact, tremendous vision. He's a total back. We've got to get numerous guys to the ball. We've got to do a great job of wrapping up. We've got to do a great job of not leaving our feet in our tackling techniques. It's fundamental football 101, and we got to be really good. And when you get tired, you got to be even better. And because I feel like he gets better as the game goes on, and he's a terrific talent. And I've unfortunately it hasn't been a lot of fun watching his film on trying to stop him. He's a great player.
Any injuries up there coming out of this last game or anything happening this week?
Jet Elad will be limited. Hopefully we can get him to practice tomorrow. John O'Baldwin was good after the game, played well. He'll be back. Dre Williams, I think, will get some game activity this week, so that's a positive. We're in pretty good shape.
Coach, I remember asking you at the start of the season how you felt about going from 2 divisions in the Mountain West to just 1. It's obviously worked out in your favor, but how do you feel about the system now with 1 division?
It's worked out pretty well for us, so let's keep it. I do think, I don't recall where we were when you asked that, but I think I said, I don't know enough about it at this point. Let's see how the season plays out. I think that's what I said. And that's the way I still feel, and I think it works out really well. So, you never know. Every game's so important, and you don't control anybody other than how you go play and perform. So, the great thing with our league, there's been tremendous communication all year in every area, from officiating to new rules to what they're looking for each week to talking points on the conference, how strong we are as a conference. And it's been a lot of fun to be a part of.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Cameron, how did you guys find out that you were selected to play in the Mountain West Championship game yesterday?
We were just sitting at home in the morning, they told us that we would know by 7 a.m., so we all set an alarm. And then it was actually an hour later, at 8 a.m., we found out. So we were just blessed to be in it.
For both of you, Coach has said that you're a good team when you have a chip on your shoulder. How big is the chip going into this game for both of you?
Going into the game, having a chip on our shoulder is pretty big, We just want to bounce back from a loss. We're not focused on what we did in the past. The only game that matters is the game this weekend, and we're just trying to focus on what we can do better, correct our mistakes from last game, and go out and try to have a great game.
Yeah, to build off what Donnie said, we're not really focused on our past. We're just trying to go out there, and, it's for all the marbles, so we're ready to just put it all on the line.
Cameron, you've been in this conference for a while. You know that Boise State is, one of the preeminent teams here. UNLV is making its first championship game appearance. Do you feel like there's a little bit of David Goliath thing going on here, or how does the team view it?
I don't think it's any of that right now. They're the regular football team just like us. I feel like we're evenly matched on both sides of the ball, and, we're ready to go out there and finally play our first 4 quarters of our best football out there. So I think we're ready to go.
Cam, can you talk about the leadership Jackson brings on play-to-play and what kind of player he is and what he does for his team?
Yeah, Jax, he brings a lot of leadership. He's very vocal out there. He likes to, get guys in the right spots. Him being an older guy is he has a lot of experience, so he's seen a lot of things. Just making sure that he has communication with everybody is a big thing he brings in.
Donavyn, for you, how important is it for the offense to get on track early in this game after being shell-shocked early in the past game last week?
Yeah, we just got to continue to trust each other and trust our brothers. Like our coach told us this week, this is a heavyweight matchup. The team with the least mistakes is going to win the game. So we're just trying to have a great, perfect game, like Cameron just said, and just play our 4 quarters of our best football.
Has he shown you any more Tyson Fury videos or anything?
No, he hasn't.
Cameron, Barry's talked about, learning throughout the season. I guess, what did you learn about the group from this last game?
I just learned that, coming out there and we can't start slow. So when we start slow, get down in the hole. And we've brought ourselves back a couple of times, but whenever you're going against a really good team, then you can't have any mistakes like Donnie just said. So I feel like that I learned that we've bounced back from situations like this. We came back even stronger and put our best foot forward, and we're ready to do that again.
Donavyn, you were in the playoffs last year, right, at William and Mary. What will it take for this team to be ready for, now it's playoffs from this point forward?
Yes, sir. I just feel like, we're just playing for each other. It's very inspirational to see what the Las Vegas Aces do in Las Vegas and the Golden Knights, and see how they have had success. And we feel like as if it's our time. University of Las Vegas has never won in football, won the championship. So it's a big deal to us, and just having that chip on our shoulder of just taking a loss last week, knowing what's on the line this week, just going into this game, we just want to play our 4 quarters of our best football, and we know that we have to not make as many mistakes and just go out and just do what we do. And when we do what we do, everything plays out for us. So we're just trusting the process and letting everything happen the way it should happen.
Cam, when a team is winning like you guys are, the coaches become, hot names in the coaching carousel. Do you guys see any of that against you when, you hear that coaches may be interviewing, or how do you guys handle that?
We don't really focus on that. Coach Odom has a thing called distraction control. Those are just distractions that are like, we're not focused on that. That's in the near future. So we're just focused on right now and what we have in front of us. And we have a big game coming up, so we're ready for that one.
Donavyn, what, you guys are hosting this game. What do you want to see out of the crowd, and what sort of home field advantage are you hoping to get on Saturday?
We just want everybody to come out and just support us. This is a big deal. Just being in this situation is big for everybody. And we're not only just playing for our teammates, but we're playing for the team, we're playing for the school, we're playing for the community, we're playing for the city, and it's going to be an explosive heavyweight matchup. So we're excited. Whoever comes out, support us. Y'all not going to be disappointed.
Cam, so on the similar question, how can a crowd make a difference in a football game?
Getting loud on third downs, whenever we kick off the ball and our kickoff team runs down there, just getting hype, letting everybody know that we bringing that energy in. Bringing that energy, coming into the stadium, it should be like, you're walking in there, it sounds like you can't really hear. So that brings a lot on third downs, making a lot of noise.
Don, you talked about how, UNLV's never won a Mountain West championship before. As a guy who's just kind of arrived here and has learned a lot about UNLV in this last year, I guess, what would it mean to you to be able to bring that first championship to this team?
Definitely, it means the world to me. I won the championship at William & Mary, but this means a lot more. Just the circumstances of UNLV have never winning something before. So this just means the world. And me being a grad transfer senior, this being my last game, probably my last college game, besides the bowl game. But it just means everything, and I just can't wait to see how the story unfolds. We started, and for me, in the summer, but seeing how my teammates worked, those that were here in the spring and January, and just seeing how we all came together in the summer and how everything paid off for the season, we're just super excited to see how all the hard work paid off. So it just means the world, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Cameron, how important is it to get Jonathan back for this final stretch here?
Oh, it's very important. John was a big piece in that secondary. He's another vocal leader that I think that, whenever he's out there, he just makes everything flow more easier because, he's communicating with everybody. He knows what to do. He knows the ins and outs of the defense. So having him back is a big thing, and I'm excited to see him make some plays.
For Donavyn, what do you think of the approach by San Jose State after their first kickoff to then kick it short?
After the first kickoff, I just thought they were just trying to stay up, just stay in the game. We got to limit our mistakes. But we're not really worried about San Jose State. Our next focus is Boise State and trying to win the championship.
Well, I wonder if Boise's going to do the same thing, kick short on kickoffs. And when you watch film, what's the best way to try to break it when you don't have a ton of room after you catch it?
You just got to trust in the man, beside you. And hopefully our coach is going to put in a great game plan for this week on special teams. And we just have to execute what he puts in, So whatever Boise has and whatever Boise is going to try to do, we just got to try to do what we do better.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.